Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. What's up, you guys? It's KeAmber Vaughn, aka CoachKe, coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video that I post. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, it's time for me to do my November budget with me for the month. If you are new to my channel, I am a part-time psych nurse and I work at a pretty low-paying facility, and I get paid every other Wednesday. So my November budget is going to start November 4th because I'm someone who likes to start my budget with the first paycheck for that calendar month, and my budget is going to go all the way until December 1st. So a couple of other specs really quick is that I do have low housing costs. I'm single, I have no children, so I decided to live with my mother and sister. So that is going to be reflected in my expenses. One thing that is going to change for this month is the fact that I have to up my shopping budget this month to make sure that I can accommodate for Christmas gifts that I will be buying for next month. I'm still not sure if I'm going to increase the shopping budget or the miscellaneous budget, but either way, we're going to increase the expenses just a little bit this month, and I'm very happy that my income is back to normal because I had to live like a broke girl last month and I did not like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and flip over and let's start the budget. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this page. Just know that I like to calendarize my expenses. I'm not a decorative planner like that. I tried it and just listen, that was giving me a whole lot of headaches because I just don't like a whole lot of clutter anyway. But I do think that it's very important that you calendarize your expenses because this is the first time where you can kind of see where your bills lie in regards to where your paychecks are. Now, because I've been debt-free for over 2.5 years and I'm a minimalist, I don't like to owe people on a monthly basis. I don't have a whole lot of bills, and I particularly like it that way. Once you become debt-free, trust me, you'll start really getting rid of a whole lot of unnecessary bills. Trust me. So what you see here is my rent split up into 2. Every paycheck, I go ahead and I put that money off to the side, and then that way on the 1st, I go ahead and I pull that money out to pay my mother. Then here on the 21st is car insurance. I have a stock club membership on the 29th, and then my health and dental insurance come out on the 1st. I've had people ask me about my insurance. I do get insurance through the marketplace because I work for an agency for my nursing job, so I don't have healthcare coverage, and I go through healthcare.gov. I've had a couple of people email me about that. So the way that I'm going to go ahead and do this budget is we're going to fill out this page over here. This is where I kind of estimate about how much of my disposable income I need to go towards my everyday expenses like gas and groceries, and then we'll somewhat fill out the savings page, but I'll always keep that for the sinking funds update that I do. But the majority of the time is going to be kind of spent on this page where we're going to do a paycheck to paycheck overview, where I'm going to estimate about like how my paychecks should go, how much I should have left over with each paycheck with my expenses. So let's go ahead and zoom in and get started on this page here. So if you're new here, I actually have my own budgeting method. It's called the income allocation method. I came up with this while I was still in debt because I did not like how a lot of other budgeting methods go. I'm not really a huge fan of zero-based budgets and other budgets out there. And basically I wanted to create something where I could comfortably save money while I was still getting out of debt, because I just didn't feel comfortable having such a small amount in my savings while I'm throwing everything at debt, because anything honestly can happen. In this pandemic that we're going through right now, kind of show people how important it is to still save money while you're trying to get out of debt. So the first step of my method is I have to figure out what my fixed expenses are. And that's because I just think it's very important that you pay your bills on time. I'm someone who thinks that credit is very important. I don't believe in the whole get a 0 credit score. So for me, you know, any bills that could possibly affect my credit, I try to make sure I take care of those first, because I can scrounge up money for food and anything else that is kind of like essentials. So As far as fixed expenses go, we have rent of $300. And then my car insurance, you guys, actually went down. It was at one point like 105. It went up because I got into a car accident in the mountains in Denver last March. And after that, my parents allowed me to be on their insurance, and due to recent events, now the car insurance has gone down. So I was paying my mom $129.66, and it's basically cut in half to $62.49. So that's a huge win for me. Then we have the stock club, which I'm going to write down here at the bottom. And if you are wondering, this is a budget planner that I created myself, in case you wanted to know. And the link is down in the description box if you want to check it out. I always cross out this life insurance portion, put dental, and we're going to have $954. And then health insurance is $165.22. The pen that I'm using is a Parku 0.7 millimeter gel pen. It comes with, I think it's 14 different colors. So now that I have written out, and actually, no, I do only have rent once. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and calculate what my fixed expenses are. We got 300. $954. This app is called The Calculator. I get that question a lot too. And 300, 954, 165. All right, so the total fixed expense amount is $557.25. And that's going to go down again once we get into the new year, because this was like a 1-year membership, and the price that is at this point, I'm not going to pay that. I'm just not. Okay, so after I figure out what my fixed expenses are, I have to figure out how much disposable income I have left over after I pay my bills, because that'll let me know how I can budget out the extra income I have left for gas and groceries, and then also savings. If I was still in debt, I would also budget that out for my debts, but I'm not anymore. So my projected income, I only work 25 hours a week. So usually what my paycheck is $1167.38. I do know that I did work some extra hours because I had like a couple of like CPR trainings, things like that. So I do know that my hours were even more. I think 1 week I worked 32 hours, 1 week I worked 31 hours. And I think both of those go towards my first paycheck, but I just like to underestimate for a just in case type of situation. So that's going to be $2334.76. But then I also have YouTube, which, let me see if I can look really quick to estimate what that is going to be. It's looking like my YouTube income that I'm going to get paid is $316.71. This is an estimate I did a couple of days ago. So I'm going to subtract 20% because that's going to go towards taxes. So $316.71 minus 20%. That's going to be $63.34. It's going to give me $253.36.
Editing KeAmber here. I just realized that I did do this calculation wrong by a penny, so it's going to be $253.37. And now that I just checked this, I did go ahead and fix that inside of my planner, but when I do the paycheck to paycheck overview, I already fixed that part.
Now this month I am going to try, to start working 29 hours a week, because those extra 4 hours each week will be equivalent to 1 full shift and then another 4 extra hours. And that should more than cover my newer rent expense, so that that $300 is not taken away from what I typically put in savings or have for spending or whatever. So the projected income total is going to be $25.88, and I need to order some more pens. Now, after I figure out the projected income, and again, it's very important that you underestimate your income, because if you overestimate your income and you don't make as much money, then your budget is going to be way off. So I'm going to subtract my fixed expenses, which are $557.25. Oh yeah, I gotta get new pens. Probably order some after this video. So $557.25 is going to give me a net income of $2,030.87. From this, I need to be able to pay for my everyday expenses and then figure out what I want to do as far as savings go. Hopefully, I have enough money to start putting some more money into my investment account, but I might wait until the beginning of the year for that, because I have been taking money out of savings, and you guys are going to see that in the sinking fund update. I'm going to switch to this Papermate pen, because this one is just about out. So for groceries, I'm going to do $250. That's typically what I do when I have 4 weeks worth of budgeting. Personal household is going to be $125. Restaurants, I'm going to do $125. And y'all, I did so good on my spending this month, knowing that I didn't have a whole lot of room for error. I've been doing pretty good. So shopping, I have it at $250 because I increased it by $150 to buy Christmas gifts. I'm not getting a whole lot of Christmas gifts, honestly. It's going to be my mom, sister, my aunt, uncle, his wife, and my grandma, and then my aunt's husband. So that's 7. And I think that I can do, we're going to put that in the, I'm going to put it in the shopping category. Do that. And then if I still need some more stuff and I'm kind of like nearing going over in that category, I can always just pick up more stuff at the beginning of December. Let's see. Next is miscellaneous. That's going to be $100. Typically out of there is like if we go out to eat as a family, or if I need to buy birthday gifts for someone, which I don't have any birthdays for anyone in November. Let's see. And then we have supplements. This is my month where my extra supplement comes out. I'm trying to think. I shouldn't need any more black seed oil or liquid chlorophyll. So yeah, I think we'll be good at the 103. And then I'm going to put business for 100. I don't really spend money out of here very often, but when I need pens and stuff for YouTube, I will. All right, so let's go ahead and calculate that. So we got 250, 125, another 125, 80, 250, 200, and then 103. So, oh, this is pretty good. So I'm gonna need $1,133. Not too shabby. Okay. So after I figure out how much I need for those variable expenses, I want to figure out what percentage. I'm a numbers person. Okay. So I like to look at things in percentages. So I try to figure out what percentage of my disposable income or my net income do I have left over for this stuff, because what I do is when I actually get paid, I go based off of those percentages to figure out when I can safely move money to my savings account. So the way that I figure that out, you just take what you need for the total expenses, which is the $1,133, and then I'm going to divide that by the net income, which was $2,030.87. That gives me 55.7%. I like to round up to the nearest 5, which is going to be 60%. The reason why I do that is because if I only put 55%, but I spend every single dollar of this, I've underestimated because I didn't account for this extra 0.7%. So when you round up, that also gives you that room for error, because there are some months where we just kind of wild out a little bit, spend more money than we need to. So the 60% that I need is going to mean that the total amount I have to budget for this particular part of my budget, I'm actually going to have more money. because I've rounded up. So I'm going to take the 20, 30, 87, which is my net income. I'm going to multiply that by 60%. And that's actually going to give me a total of $1,218.52. So basically what I've done is I've given myself an extra $85 and some change for room for error in case I do overspend. So that is going to leave me with 40% left for savings. So that same 20, 30, 87 minus 12, 18, 52 is going to give me $812.35 for savings, plus the $63.34 for the taxes that I know I'm going to take out of my YouTube check. As far as filling out these, I don't do this until the sinking fund update, and then still 100% debt free. I like to write this in just as like a reminder to continue celebrating this on a monthly basis. If I was still in debt, what I like to do is I like to divide the remaining amount. So that 40% would have been 20% for savings, 20% for debt. So essentially I would have saved about $400 and put an extra $400 towards my debt as extra debt payments. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. So my total budget is $1133. I'm going to divide that in two because remember I do my budget on a bi-weekly basis. Divided by 2. So that's going to give me $566.50. Okay. Okay, so my first payday is November 4th. And that's going to take me all the way till November 17th. And my income is $1167.38. I put a little box here because I basically check off when I've made at least that amount. So let's get, actually, use that one. Okay, so the bills that are coming out of here. So like I told you guys, when you calendarize your expenses, you can kind of see what goes where. But when I do this part of my budget, this is when I know exactly, like, if I have these exact bills and if I spend the exact amount that I have budgeted, this is how much I should have left over from this paycheck. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. The most important thing is if you have a negative paycheck due to bills, you would rather it be at the end of the month, because if it's at the end of the month, you should have money like that's left over from your first paycheck to cover that. Or at least if it's at the end of the month, if you have, like, let's say your car insurance is due in this second paycheck, but it makes you negative, you can pay that early so that you can kind of balance your paychecks out. So I actually won't have anything in this particular week except my rent of $150. And then we got the budget of $566.50, and that should be it. Yeah, everything else is going to come out of that second paycheck. So I'm just going to draw a quick line, so, and then I'll calculate towards the end. So next I'm going to have my YouTube paycheck, and that is going to be on November, and actually it's not going to be next, but I'm going to write that over here. That's going to be YouTube. The total amount was $316.71. And let's get a purple one out. Taxes. It's going to be $63.34. And then I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3. Let's skip 3 lines. November 18th through December, what is it? December 1st. Yeah, because that's a Tuesday. And then again, we got the 1167.38. Put a box. So this week, again, I'm going to take out that rent amount. Then we have Geico, which is my car insurance. That's going to be $62.49. I'm so happy that's gone. That's probably the least amount in car insurance I've ever paid. I guess getting older isn't bad. Then we have the Stock Club. That's going to be $20. Dental. It's going to be $9.54. Health. $165.22. And then the budget. Of $566.50. Okay, let's go ahead and calculate these. I shouldn't need these anymore. Okay, so $1167.38. I'm gonna subtract the rent. $566.50. So after I finish all the calculations, I'm going to write out a plan for my savings. It's gonna feel so good to save money again, y'all, because this month, I actually should be able to save a little bit from this month, because when I tell y'all I've been like so minimal with my expenses, like it's crazy. But that's what you have to do. You have to be able to adapt to your situations. I knew my income was going to be short $600+ this month, or not the November budget, but October, and I made adjustments. Not all the time will it be super easy to make adjustments like that, but this time it was. $925.35. $760. And if you're wondering why I have so many bills coming out the second half of the month, that's because eventually when I do get my own place again, my rent is always going to be my biggest expense, which is usually going to be at the beginning of the month. But more than likely I'll do like I did and like I'm doing now, where I split my rent payments and then, you know, have the money to pay it all at one time. Okay, so let's go ahead and shift down just a bit. And I'm gonna put savings plan. Okay, so paycheck 1. I have $450.88 left over. Then we got the YouTube paycheck. There's $253.37. Paycheck 2 is gonna be $193.63. And because these are using the exact numbers instead of the, remember how back here, like I had to inflate the numbers a little bit just to give myself that cushion, that extra $85 that I put here, when I do my actual numbers, it's gonna come up in the savings part. So we got the $450.88 plus $253.37 plus $193.63. So that is why I'm at almost $900. The $85 came back in that spot. Okay, so because I couldn't spend or save that much money this current month that I'm still in October. I do want to put all of this towards savings. For most of this past year, I have been putting like $300 a month into my investment account, but I'm going to wait to do that, especially with the election coming up. You kind of don't really know how that's going to affect the stock market, so I don't really want to buy certain stocks right now. So I am going to put, do I want to do half, or I'm going to do 70% miscellaneous fund, and then we'll do 15% is going to go to my car. Then another 15 is going to go to travel. Well, I did take a little bit out of travel when I paid for my flight. Okay, so I need to replenish this account. That's like the most important one to replenish right now. So 50, I'm gonna round up to 52. So 897.88, and then I'm gonna subtract the 628.52. I like to put the same amount of money in these two accounts. 269.36. Okay, so my plan for my savings with that almost $900, I want to put $600 in my miscellaneous / investment sinking fund. That'll actually cover the $600+ that I had to take out this current month. You guys will find out what that was all about. Then I'm gonna put almost $300 in my car sinking fund, and then almost $300 into my travel sinking fund, and that's it. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, but other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.